Good morning. I'm making my final preparations for the Arizona Trail through hike, and this will be my gear video so you can see what I am starting the trail with. Alright, good morning. I have everything laid out here that is going to be going with me on my Arizona Trail through hike. Let's start up here with one of the big three. My backpack is the Durston Kakwa 55. I have the Nyla Flume liner in it. Attached to I have a small thermometer. I have my Garmin InReach 2. And I have Croc camp shoes. Spinning it around. On this I have a back pad to help give it a little breathability. Glacial gear rag just to wipe sweat and whatnot. A mount for the GoPro. A bottle holder. I've been using this pack and I have not had any problems with it. I like it very much. Let's see here. Next, let's go with the tent. I have the Durston X-Mid Pro, which is a trekking pole tent. So I have the trekking poles that I use with me when I hike, so they will be used to set up the tent. Inside of here I do have stakes and a stake pusher to go inside the pack there. Let's see. Sleep-wise, to start with, I have the Enlightened Equipment. It's a 20-degree quilt. I have a Hyper Light stuff sack pillow, so I can just stuff all of my additional clothes into there and use it as a stuff sack. And then inside out it has a soft fleece liner, so I can use that as a pillow. I have the Thermarest Z-Lite pad that I will be using underneath my inflatable pad, which is the REI Helix. It's the wide version, so it's a little bit wider for me. So that is kind of my sleep system there, and my tent. So let's move to clothing. I use the Merrell Moab 3, the low ones. If you go back and watch my video where I broke and dislocated my pinky, that is why I use the low version and not the high version anymore. That's a whole nother story. I use the Injinji sock liners and Darn Tough hiking, the crew length. And I have 2 pairs of those that I can swap out. And then I have a third pair that I use strictly for sleeping in. Let's see. I have a Light Heart Rain Gear rain jacket. A 32-degree base layer. I have the pants and a long sleeve shirt. Those are for sleeping in for the most part. If it's really cold, I can use the pants along with my shorts to hike in to start. I also have the Farpoint Super Cruise Alpha mid layer. I use the Evolved Equipment Sun hoodie. And I have the 32-degree athletic shorts. I like those because they have pockets and the zippers on the pockets so I can zip them closed with the important things I need. Let's see here. Outdoor research gloves and a buff that I have, and then I have my Patagonia hat to keep the sun off my head. I also have a smart wool beanie and smart wool gloves that I use. I just picked up, inside this there's a pair of wind pants. So again, if it gets to be cold, I can throw those on. And that pretty much wraps up my clothes system. Cooking wise, I have a Evolved Equipment 750 milliliter pot, and inside of that I keep a bandana. I have another fuel canister inside of it, and then I have a spare fuel canister. I think I might be overpacking those, but I'd rather have too much until I know how fast I go through it. I also have the GSI Outdoor stove, and then I have a collapsible Sea to Summit drinking cup. I also have the MTK Talon neck knife. Let's see. Does that cover? I have the fuel refill valve that I can always refill the canisters at hiker boxes if I need to. And I have a Bic lighter with another spare in my bag of additional supplies. I have a Hilltop Packs food bag with an odor-proof liner inside of it, and a rucksack and line for bear hang, which probably won't be having to do maybe when I get to the north part. Let's see, what else do I got here? Electronics. Okay, so I have a stuff sack to hold all of my electronics. I showed you the Garmin InReach Mini. I also have the Garmin Enduro 3 solar watch that I use to help track mileage. I used the Nightcore NU27 headlamp. I switched over to this one because it uses the same USB-C adapter versus the micro, so I'm not having to carry an extra cord for just that. I have my various cords and adapters that I need. I will be using my GoPro Hero 12. Let's see. I have a tripod that will work for both the GoPro and my camera, so I can do some different video things with that. I have two 10,000 milliamp Flextail Nightcore power banks. I like using two of them because I can charge each one separately, so I can charge two of them at one time, versus if I have just one big one, you're having to wait to charge the single one, versus this one I can charge in half the time. And if I don't go through one, I can just charge the one and be done a lot quicker. Let's see, I have my wall charger, my Anker 65 watt, so it's a fast charge. I have a small Bluetooth photo button, so I can use that with my camera to take pictures, so I don't have to use a timer or anything. I can just take pictures with that. And then I have a GoPro 2 battery charging system, so I have 2 extra batteries in there, so I have 3 batteries total for the GoPro, which helps so I can keep doing videos and not have to charge as often. Let's see, moving over to hygiene. In this bag, I have the deuce of spades to dig my holes. I have toilet paper. I have a bidet and the bottle for the bidet. So I just use this one bottle strictly for that purpose. That way I don't get it mixed up with my drinking water, because that would be very bad. Let's see. This is kind of a new item. It's a urinal. I tried using a large Gatorade bottle, but there were nights where it got close to being overfull, and I don't want to run into that problem. So this holds more, and even though it's a little bit of extra weight, it's not too bad. We'll start with that and see how I like it. Toothbrush, toothpaste, Dr. Bronner's soap. And then in this bag, I have kind of my miscellaneous repair items and such. I have Body Glide, extra shoelaces, some cord, extra sports caps, emergency blanket, some, in here I have some crazy glue. I have additional adapters and gaskets for the Sawyer Squeeze, chapstick, sun lotion, some floss. That floss is more for sewing than it is for flossing. I used the little picks instead for flossing. I have the 2 cork balls to roll out body parts that get sore. I do use the Sawyer Squeeze, so I have the Sawyer Squeeze with the adapter, and I carry a CNOC or CNOC bag, a 3-liter. I know it's a little bit bigger, but being in the desert, the water can be very hard to come by. So using that. As I kind of get dialed in a little bit more, I might not have to keep it as full, because it does weigh. 3 liters of water is 6.6 pounds. I have a sunglass or an eyeglass case, a hard 2 pairs of the reading glasses that will go inside of there. It fits 2 pairs. I have my sunglasses and a wipe for the glasses. So I had the 2 pairs because if you saw on my shakedown hike, I did lose a pair of glasses, and if I hadn't had the backup, I would have been in a world of hurt. So always carry an extra pair of reading glasses, because it's kind of an important thing for me to be able to see. Let's see. Over here, I have a stuff sack that I have kind of my medical kit. I have some various bandages, wipes, antibiotics, gauze, some things just in case. In here, I've got a comb and a tweezers for cactus removal. I have some Imodium, some Pepto-Bismol, some ibuprofen, and Tylenol, and some prescription meds in there. So that's that. One thing I did forget with the clothes is I do have the Enlightened Equipment puffy jacket also for cold. And I think that about wraps up what I will bringing on my Arizona Trail through hike. If I did forget anything, I'll add it in, but I think that's about it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you out on the trail. Alright, so I did mention, because a lot of people will ask, my base weight, and that is without food and water, is about 19.25 pounds. I'm probably going to end up being closer to 35 pounds full, but we'll kind of see once I get everything packed. If you do want to see, I will include a link to my lighter pack, which has everything listed that I am bringing, down to the ounce and grams, so you can see exactly what I'm bringing.